Neil, just start with an injury update. How's James Forrest?
Well, he won't be available for tomorrow, but we're hoping he'll be available for the weekend. Chris Ayer and Mikey Johnson, they've trained today, so they're back in the squad.
Ryan's still injured for tomorrow night, but injury-wise, is he coming back?
Injury-wise, he's fine. He's got a suspension, so he's back training, and hopefully once the suspension lifts, he'll be available again as well.
How much are you looking forward to getting back to big business tomorrow night?
Yeah, very much so. I was pleased with the performance the other night. I thought there was a good vibrancy about us, and we could and should have won the game by more. So, we step into a difficult game tomorrow night and confident. We're looking forward to the game, and players are motivated to, get the 3 points.
I guess Cully showed last year that they can, cause trouble for the Old Firm by beating Rangers and put a spoke in their wheels as such this time last year.
Yeah, they're tough not to crack. I mean, there's been change in manager twice. I think Alex might go back to the way they were playing previously. Did a good win at the weekend, but we know the venue's tough, and we know that the artificial surface isn't always conducive to playing the style of football that we like. But we're aware of that, and we're away from home, so. Like I say, it'll be difficult, but it's a game that we're looking forward to.
Can you sense this title race is going to get cranked up now, from now to the end of the season?
All title races do, so this one's no different from any other that I've been involved in.
It looks as if it's going to be a lot closer though than recent years.
Well, it's looking that way at the minute, yeah. So we need to focus on one game at a time and get our performances up to the levels that we know we can, and take it from there.
How beneficial will it be that your players have been over the course and distance, so when it does get cranked up in such a way?
Yeah, I think that experience might stand them in good stead, but every season's different, so we've got a good strong core group of players in there who are winners, and they won't want to give anything up lightly, as we've seen already. So the second half of the season should be exciting.
You mentioned Kilmarnock maybe going back to the way they played under Steve Clark now that Alex tires, and does that change your approach in any way from, say, an Angelo Alessio team?
Yeah, possibly, but we know that they're tough not to crack. They know that they're organised. The players know the rules, and at Rugby Park, particularly last season, they had a very good record against most teams. So I think they'll go back to the way they played under Steve, which will make life difficult for us. We understand that, but we've got some very good players, and we've got really good attacking intent, and that's what we want to show tomorrow.
Weekly question on any incomings or outgoings. Is there any update for us now?
Just the paperwork on Sorrow's still ongoing at the minute. No other comings or goings at the minute.
There's been reported interest in Tyrese Campbell. Is that accurate?
That's just speculation.
So there's not been any approach or anything like that?
No.
Yeah, would you hope to have Sorrow in the country?
It's a good question. He's doing his medicals at the minute, so that takes a day or two. They have to do things it's governed by the Israeli sort of council or FA, so it's a day-to-day thing. So they do the bloods, they do the medicals, so that's ongoing at the minute.
Is that unusual, getting medicals done abroad?
Well, he can't come into the country yet until.
He can't get his visa.
Yeah, exactly. So once that is all agreed, then hopefully. I don't know. Hopefully not so long, a few days maybe, and we can get him over here and get him cracking.
I see Hatton put a message. He said he got positive news on some test results.
Yeah, he had he had a scan, so the injury's not as bad as what we first thought it was. So I don't know the length of time on it, but it's not as severe as what we first thought, because there's a lot of bleeding in the groin area.
Neil, we've been asking top flight managers about the plight of Brian Rice. What would you think of the situation?
No, it's an addiction. It's a disease, and Brian's had historic problems in the past. I think it's really brave of him to come forward and admit that and look to get some help. So hopefully he can get back on the straight and narrow as quickly as possible.
Hamilton have said, or any other, to encourage other people to come out if they've got a problem, that there should be an amnesty now, that shouldn't really face punishment, they should be supported. Do you have a view on that?
The rules are the rules, and back in the day I liked to wee bet myself, didn't sort of not big bets, but it was a bit of fun. But for other people, it becomes a way of life. It becomes a 24/7 thing, and I think that's what the rules are put in place for. I like that. Don't want any sort of covert operations going on with regard to the betting side of things as well. Brian obviously is an individual, and we know a lot of individuals have addictive problems, whether it be through gambling or other addictions. It's sad, but I think he's strong enough to get through it, and we all wish him from here the very best.
Is it something Celtic managers, well, do you, for example, speak continually with your players about, or occasionally with your players and staff about?
Yeah, I mean, we know there's a blanket ban, so it's just a no-go, and that the punishments at times can be quite strict.
Do you get a sense, Neil, of how big a problem it is still within the game? We've heard from former managers, former players and current officials saying it goes on in every dressing room in the country.
Well, I'm not aware of it going on in our dressing room. I think the players pretty much adhere to the laws and restrictions and the rules. Certainly none of the staff are involved in any of that. I think there is scope, obviously, for betting companies. At the end of the day, it can be exciting and it can be a bit of fun, but when it gets out of hand, then you have to have the self-discipline to stop.
And I guess in relation to the betting companies, there will be a call from some that it's too much of a conflict to have the gambling companies sponsoring teams, sponsoring cups, sponsoring leagues. That might be addressed.
Well, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Like I say, for some people it's an addiction. But I think the betting companies, do put a lot into the game for the right reasons, and they do have restrictions at times on, the amount that people can use. We know that, some players can get carried away, and it's not just football. It's other sports and it's all walks of life as well. So you can't just tarnish the betting companies with this sort of situation.
So you'd say,
I think that's totally unfair.
You'd say whoever it is, help is there, whether it's players or managers, whoever, there is actually help for people now.
There is help for people, yeah.
Neil, can I ask you about a report this morning in a paper that suggested that the SPFL is going to approach the SFA to discuss the disciplinary process because clubs are just not happy about it. Can I get your take on the current system and where it works or doesn't work?
Well, it seems to again go down to individual viewpoints on individual situations, and there seems to be an inconsistency with that. So it's caused a lot of controversy and it's caused a lot of fury over the years, and it's baffled and bewildered me at times. The recent one for me is the Ryan Christie one. So yeah, I think there has to be some sort of clarity for managers and players.
Do you think it was better when you were playing to the current system we've got?
Probably, yeah.
It's just too much confusion, do you think?
I think there's too much confusion, yeah.
You went, I think, to the meeting with other top flight managers in McDermott Park last year.
Yes.
With Claire White and other referees. I think Ian Maxwell was there as well. Did you find that meeting productive? Would you welcome another sort of meeting?
I'd welcome another sort of meeting. The main crux of the meeting to come out of it was most people were in favour of VAR rather than the disciplinary side of things, and that the disciplinary side of things was the one that caused the most debate, if you want to call it that. So I do think there has to be, a lot more clarity in terms of what the punishment is and what the punishment is for, and how strict the punishment will be. I
guess the flip side to that, playing devil's advocate, is the governing body would say, well, it's up to you guys, all the clubs, all the representatives, you want it changed, go for it.
Yeah, possibly, but I'm not in control of that.
Yeah.
Neil, I just wanted to go back to on the pitch stuff. On Saturday it was more of a 4-4-2 diamond with kind of 4 central midfielders, 2 up top. How do you feel it worked? And is it something you could use more this season, especially with Griffiths coming back and Klimala coming in, 2 up top, 2 actual strikers?
Yeah, we had our main wingers out in terms of Elyounoussi, in terms of Johnson, in terms of James Forrest, so it was another way that we felt we could utilise. The players have played that system before over the past few years, and I thought we controlled the game very, very well. I thought we created a lot of good chances. The first goal was an excellent goal. Sometimes you lose a little bit of width with it, and you get your width from the fullbacks. But yeah, it's definitely a a system I used at Hibs to a lot of success. So, you know, going forward, we could use that one again.
In terms of changing formation, you did do it in the first part of the season. Do you think that, especially you've got 5 of the next 6 away from home, could we see perhaps you play a slightly different style, different formation away from home to when you do take teams to Celtic Park?
Possibly. You know, again, it's horses for courses, and, you know, depending on the opposition and the personnel that we have available. But yeah, we can be flexible in different ways of playing the game.
There was some talk after the last Celtic Rangers game about a changing of the guard and new forces arrived, etc. Is that a bit premature? Was there a bit of an overreaction?
Yeah, I think it's very premature, yeah. Still looking at the league table, I think we're still top of the league, even though they have a game in hand and we've won the cup, and up until then we'd won 12 games in a row, so, you know, we're very positive about the second half of the season. So look, I can't control what other people think. You expect it sometimes off the back of a defeat, but a lot of people, you know, over the years have been proven wrong.
Neil, I don't know if you said on Saturday, Neil Beaton, how bad is he?
He had a scan yesterday, so we're hoping it'll only be a couple of weeks.